Welcome to the OpFun Web Portal training video on creating a shortfall application. The OpFun Web Portal designates three types of user roles: OPD, OPE, and OPI. The OPD user role is intended for a PHA's executive director only. This user can create, edit, and submit the forms and electronically sign them. The OPE user can create and edit forms, but they can't sign or submit the forms. The OPI user can only read submitted forms. They can't create, edit, sign, or submit forms. Follow up with your PHA's WAS coordinator to ensure that they only assign one role per user. In cases where a user has more than one role assigned, the system will automatically default to the access rights of the lower of the two roles. To begin the application process, from the homepage of the OpFun Web Portal, go to PHA Reports and Submissions in the left navigation menu. Open the Shortfall Submissions drop-down menu. Select Shortfall Application from the list. Select the calendar year. Choose your PHA code. Click the Create button. If you click the Create button on the application before making any updates, you'll see an error message that reads, "Please select the portion of shortfall funding," and "Please select shortfall Tier 1 or Tier 2. Your PHA may request its entire shortfall funding that it's eligible to receive, or a lower amount. Please note your PHA's shortfall funding eligibility is dependent on the availability of funds and how HUD prioritizes distribution of funds to all eligible PHAs. To request the full shortfall funding eligibility, check the box for PHAs requesting full shortfall funding eligibility as published by HUD. To request an amount less than your PHA's full shortfall funding eligibility, check the box for PHAs requesting a lower amount than the shortfall funding eligibility as published by HUD, and complete the following steps. If you check the second box, enter the amount of the shortfall funding requested in the PHA requested lower amount field. Please note that if you select a lower amount, you must enter comments explaining the selection within the PHA comments text box. After completing the section requesting the amount of shortfall funding, you'll need to select and certify a shortfall tier. Check the box for Tier 1 if your PHA's months of operating reserves (MOR) ratio is less than 0. HUD provides these PHAs a single Tier 1 grant to raise the PHA's operating reserves to 0. Please note that Tier 1 PHAs are eligible for Tier 1 and Tier 2 grants. Check the box for Tier 2 if your PHA months of operating reserves (MOR) ratio is greater than or equal to 0. HUD provides these PHAs with 2 Tier 2 grants to raise the PHA's MOR to 3. The form auto-populates your PHA's executive director's name into the applicable tier certification. If the executive director information is incorrect, you must correct this information in IMS PIC, and 2 business days later, click the Refresh ED Info button. Any updates in IMS PIC will take 2 business days to be available within the OpFun Web Portal. The contact information is populated with the executive director's information. HUD contacts this person with questions or updates to the application. You can change the contact to any authorized user in the OpFun Web Portal with assigned roles for the PHA. Make sure the phone number is correct. Click the Create button to prepare the application. Deleting a shortfall application. PHAs may delete created shortfall applications prior to submitting to HUD. This action deletes all data and file attachments from the submission. To delete a shortfall application, open the application record and click the Delete button. Follow the remaining prompts on the screen to delete your application. Printing and signing the shortfall application. If you click the Submit Request button without attaching a signed application, you'll see an error message that reads, "At least one signed shortfall application needs to be attached." HUD requires PHAs to submit the shortfall application with the executive director's signature. Your PHA must print the application, obtain the executive director's signature, and upload the signed application. Please ensure that all entries in the shortfall application are correct, including the point of contact information. The signed application must match the actual form prior to submission. Click the View Print Shortfall Application button. the OpFun web portal opens a pop-up window with a printable version of the application. Click the Print button within this pop-up window. Please note, do not use the Control Print or Print Screen functionality. For destination, choose Save as PDF. Click the Save button. After saving the application as a PDF, open this file with your system's PDF viewer. In this example, we are using Adobe Acrobat. Notice that the file name has an ID number that matches the application ID within the OpFun web portal. This ID number is also located in the footer on page 2 of the application. Please note that this ID number must match the application ID listed within the OpFun web portal. Otherwise, HUD will return the application for correction. Be sure to sign and date the application on page 2. After saving your PDF, return to the matching application ID record within the OpFun web portal. Click the Sign Shortfall Application button. For document type, choose Shortfall Signed Application. Click the folder icon to search for the scanned Shortfall application. After selecting the appropriate file, click the Upload File button. The file appears in the table. You can review the file by clicking the Download link. If you need to delete a file that was uploaded in error, click the trash can icon. Click the Close and Return button when finished to return to the form. Submitting the application. Before submitting your application, designate a point of contact for the application for HUD to contact with questions. Select your PHA's Executive Director or other designated point of contact from the PHA Contact Name drop-down menu. The portal pre-populates this field with the Executive Director's phone number from IMS Pick. Keep or update this value as necessary. If you update the point of contact information, you must print the updated form, obtain the proper signature, and upload the form prior to submission. Click the Apply Changes button to update the form with any changes. Click the Submit Request button. Understanding email notifications. The OpFun web portal notifies your PHA's Executive Director and point of contact by email when HUD receives their Shortfall application. At this point, your PHA should wait for HUD to provide further guidance after the application period ends. HUD may return your PHA's Shortfall application if the application contains errors, missing signed application, or any other reason. The OpFun web portal sends your PHA's Executive Director and point of contact an email when HUD returns their application. The Return Comment section provides the reason HUD returned the submission. PHAs must correct and resubmit their Shortfall application within 7 calendar days from the date of the email or by the application deadline, whichever is later. HUD may deny your PHA's Shortfall application. If HUD denies your PHA's Shortfall application, your PHA's Executive Director and point of contact will receive an email from the portal. Review HUD's comments in the Denial Comment section of the email. Your PHA may appeal HUD's decision to deny an application if you believe the PHA's application was denied due to incorrect financial reporting as listed in the PIH notice. PHAs may ask HUD to withdraw their Shortfall application. Contact your local field office or the email address provided in the latest Shortfall Funding PIH notice. Thank you for watching this OpFun web portal training video on creating a Shortfall application. Contact your local field office for questions about operating fund grants, calculating or understanding operating fund eligibility, or PIH regulations or notices. For questions or technical assistance with the OpFun web portal, contact React Tech by phone at 1-888-245-4860 and choosing option number 4, or by email at react_tech@hud.gov.